Those of you with the M10, I highly suggest that if you guys delete the cat, or even just in general, that you get a tune.
This sounds ridiculous!
What's up, guys? Welcome to the Proven Power Cycles YouTube channel. My name is Eric Lee, and I am the tuner here. And today we have a 2023 Yamaha MT-10 in that we are, it's gonna go under the knife, and this one's gonna be a little bit more in depth than the previous one that we did recently. It just had the AR Racing, the Austin Racing 3/4 slip-on. This one is we are actually going to do the install on a 3/4 M4 pipe, and we're also installing a DNA air filter, and we're gonna do the block-off plates. So a little bit more in depth than the previous one, like we stated. We're really curious because the last bike we made 153 wheel horsepower on the MT-10. So today it's gonna be a little interesting. It's a little chilly, but the humidity is very high. It actually just got done raining. It's been raining all morning. It's in the 70s right now, but it's 60% humidity. So really curious to see what this does. Now again, this is 100% stock. He's got stock air filter, stock exhaust, stock chain and sprocket. It's stock, okay? We are going to be doing the DNA air filter along with the M4, the 3/4 M4 system. Later in the video, I will get you the model number and everything like that. We'll get all that laid out for you guys. It's a really pretty system. We've already taken a look at it. The M4 system looks really good. But anyway, he's got about 4,600. All right, so we're at 4,600 miles. So the customer bought this bike 100% stock and brand new from the dealership. So he's put the 4,600 miles on it. He's told me, I just wanted to get a good amount of miles so that way I broke the bike in. I know the history of the bike. So, and this is great, honestly. I enjoy this type of customer a lot because they can have a lot of appreciation for the difference that they're gonna feel once they get the bike back. It's gonna be pretty drastic, you know, compared to stock. So we'll let the dyno tell us the numbers and show you guys all the data so that you can see basically what a stock one is gonna lay out, okay? Now online, this is another little tidbit that I want to throw in there, because online I get this question a lot. Everybody always asks me, how is the bike reading such a low horsepower number when online they say it makes XYZ, okay? The reason being is because online, the manufacturer, they are giving you the biggest number possible, which is usually to the crank, okay? They'll call it BHP or crank horsepower or engine horsepower. Whenever you read those things, just know that they're not reading to the actual wheel. We're measuring to the wheel. A DynoJet dyno reads to the wheel, okay? We've had people comment before, oh, you guys aren't reading to the wheel. Yes, we are. It's DynoJet dyno. Educate yourself. Go look it up online. They read to the wheel, okay? So the power that we're measuring is to the actual wheel. You have drivetrain loss, all right? You have the output shaft, the sprocket, the chain, you have the rear sprocket, you have all of these things, you have the tire, the wheel, friction, the axle, you have all of these things that are basically going to pull power away from the bike. Now, a rule of thumb, on average, is about 13%, roughly. We've seen up to about a 15% drivetrain loss, depending on the condition of, obviously, your chain and sprockets and the condition of the wheel, so, and the tire that you're using. Using a bigger tire, weighs more, it's gonna take away more power, it's gonna have more, again, drivetrain loss. So that's the reason why the numbers are a little bit different than what you see online or as advertised, is for that reason. So we're getting ready to warm it up. We're gonna get moving. Dyno's ready to go. We're gonna warm up the bike and do some baselines. So right now, Lewis and Cam are taking off the exhaust servo motor and the cables and everything, but we have the hardware, the cat, and the stock muffler that we're weighing in right now, and we're basically right at 20 pounds. We're at 19 pounds, 15 ounces, so I'm pretty sure it's gonna be safe to say that with the cable and the motor itself, I'm guaranteeing you we have at least an ounce on there. So we're gonna be at least 20 pounds. So what we'll do next is we'll take the M4 system, what we're actually going to be installing on the bike, which is going to be the mid pipe, the cat delete, and then the muffler. We'll weigh that in with the brackets and everything as well, and see what that weighs in at. So that way, again, you guys can get a very accurate understanding as far as the weight differences go with an M4 system versus the stock OEM heavy duty. Yeah, that is heavy. 20 pounds on a cat, a muffler, and that's crazy, on a bike. We got most of the exhaust. The only thing we're missing is the servo motor, which we're gonna flash that out before we pull it. Yeah, but with everything all combined, we are just over 20 pounds and 9 ounces. So basically 20 pounds, we'll say 20 and a half, all right? So what we're gonna do next, we're gonna take this all off. We're gonna grab the M4 system. It's called the X model, by the way, for the MT-10. $709 is what the retail pricing is. Let us know if you guys are interested in buying this. It's a really pretty exhaust. I know we haven't shown it yet, but 5 pounds, 13 ounces, so almost 6 pounds. So we'll say the difference is, what, 14 pounds? Basically 14 and a half pounds. So 14, yeah, about 14 and a half pounds. Maybe even actually a little bit more than that on weight savings. So I would say we could probably round up with the servo motor, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so somewhere between 14 and a half to 15 pounds of weight savings, which is incredible, honestly, for a slip-on style system. So, and this is a stainless steel system. It's not titanium. So you could shave off a little bit more weight with a titanium system as well. Not a lot, a little bit more. But anyways, we wanted to go ahead and get those weights in for you guys, so at least you could see how much weight savings you get with a slip-on style system. So and then we're going to continue on. We still got to install the air filter and block off plates, so still quite a bit for us to do. I'm going to let you guys go so we can get to work. We finally got this 3/4 exhaust, we got the block off plates installed, and we got the DNA air filter installed on this bike. He did have a completely stock air filter, and again, a completely stock pair valve system. You know, he did get the bike from the dealership, brand new, so it's kind of as to be expected. So I just wanted to show you this exhaust. It's honestly, it's kind of like their Street Slayer style. It just has a longer chamber here, so but the tip does look pretty good. I like this new cut that they're doing instead of those oval cuts. This is a much cooler cut. I do like it, but like I said in the past, I like M4's product. I feel like you get a good amount of quality for how much they're charging for their pipes. But let's do a sound check real quick. That's right. We'll let it warm up for just a second, and then we'll give it some revs here. It's got a really deep tone. We're gonna wipe it down one more time before it sees the dyno, and we'll get it on the dyno here in just a second. Okay guys, so we're gonna check out the baselines real quick. A little unorthodox here. Normally I don't do this, but just wanted to go over the baselines. I thought this was very interesting. So we'll take the 100% stock baseline. We actually made a little bit better low end to mid-range power. Not much, but we lost about 3 wheel horsepower or so on average, especially right here in this big jump. And then up top here, we actually gained it back. We gained about 2 wheel horsepower up top here. 2.5, yeah, about 2.5 wheel horsepower all up top. with the M4 and the DNA air filter. So, and look at the air fuel, very similar, very, very lean. We're off the charts, like stupid lean. Here we got close at 14.8, and then which is damn near Stoich, and then after that we're up to like 17, 18.0 air fuels, which is just, this is insane. Very, very, very lean. We get kind of close, not even, I wouldn't even say kind of close. We're not even in the neighborhood until, yeah, until about 9,000 RPM or so. That's when we start getting close. Yeah, I mean, that's, again, this is typically what we're seeing with the M10s. So for those of you with the M10, I highly suggest that if you guys delete the cat, or even just in general, that you get a tune, because they are extremely lean from the factory. Very, very, very lean. And I know Yamahas, they like to run hot, I get that, but all in all, this is still just insanely lean. You'll see, when we start fixing everything, you're gonna see how much power we're gonna pick up here in the mid-range, basically all over the whole RPM range, we're gonna pick up power. So stay with us, I'm gonna throw a flash in this thing and see what happens. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching this video. We're going to go over the final numbers now on this 2023 MT-10. This thing came out badass. Super excited. Very happy with how we ended here. So first we're going to start with the baseline again. I always like to do a recap on everything. So our stock baseline numbers came out at 131.84 wheel horsepower with 71.47 foot-pounds of torque. Now notice we had a very, very, very lean air fuel mixture pretty much the entire power band. I mean, all the way up to about 10K range. We're at 13.5. Starts to dip down at 10.5, you know, and 11,000 and on, it gets rich. So, and this is a throttle restriction up here as well. So that's our baseline numbers. Awesome, fantastic. So that was with the stock system, remember that. Now with the M4 and the DNA air filter installed, we're gonna go to this blue line here. We actually lost a little bit, tiny smidge here in the mid-range. We lost a little bit, and I'm gonna go ahead under the assumption, because now we have much more airflow. We were already running pretty damn lean. We added more air to the equation. It's gonna make the bike run worse. So we haven't compensated yet with our fuel maps. And then we picked up a little bit up here. Again, air fuel mixture actually was better here. And again, kind of went down here, and this is all throttle restriction. So this is always going to be a little screwy up top. So we did pick up just a smidge, nothing crazy with the exhaust install, but watch what happens when we install and tune. We have the final product. Look at the difference in this. It is monumental. We have a huge power increase throughout the entire power band. We picked up a solid, what, 25, 31 wheel horsepower compared to the full exhaust system with the DNA filter with the final here. So if we were to actually take the baseline 123, you know, we're talking about 33 wheel horsepower. That's, again, huge changes. We'll even pick down here in the mid-range, down low going into mid-range. So right here at 6,000 RPM, we went from a 61 was stock, so we went from 61 to 74, so we still picked up 13 wheel. Massive gains. If you've seen any of my earlier videos, you will know that about 6% rate of change is a very, very, very noticeable rate of change. And here we're dealing with a 13 wheel, so even if this were, let's say, 100 to 113, that's still a 13%. So we're well past 6%. We're probably, you know, 2.5 times that at this rate, which is going to be just, this thing's going to feel like a rocket ship compared to what it used to. So if we look at the actual numbers here, we went from 131, let's say 132 basically, then we went to basically 134 wheel peak versus peak horsepower, and then we went to 156. So again, just a huge difference here. These are our peak horsepower numbers, okay? So this is what it actually peaked out at. It doesn't mean the overall power. It just means that that was the highest horsepower recorded during the dyno pull. And if you look, it happens for all of about a split second, and then it falls off again. So That's where those numbers are coming from. It's just the peak horsepower. Same thing with the blue, with our blue line here. It's probably somewhere right in here. It says at 10,200. So yeah, we're right around here for our peak number. And in the red, it says here's our peak horsepower on the baseline at 10,000, basically 200 also. So right in this range that we're at is around 10,200 RPM. So these are where it's recording those baseline high peak horsepower numbers, was right around in there. And then again, on our final number, it's pulling that horsepower number for right around in there. So, but again, just huge differences. And also, like we always do, we always kind of go over these final air fuel numbers too. We have a nice solid curve, even though this ETV mapping is a little tricky. Still have a nice clean air fuel. Have a little bit of variation there with the air fuel, again with the throttle changes. And then again, we clean up all these little tiny little issues here, like, you know, this is a 2% rate of change. Here's another 2% or so. We always do a little tweak at the end and then send it on its way. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. These videos take a lot of work for us to do, believe it or not. Seth works very hard. We constantly are meeting every week, honestly, to go over videos and go over what we have, what we don't have, what we need to finish filming, what we need to start filming. I really appreciate you guys. Our channel is growing really good. Thank you so much for all the support and the love that you guys have been showing us and continue to show us. It means a lot to us. And if you haven't already, can you please subscribe and like the video, subscribe to the channel, and comment down below and tell us what you think of this. If you guys have an MT-10, you definitely need to get these things flashed and tuned after you throw an exhaust on it. There is no question about it. Some of the other bikes that we dyno tune, they're pretty close. Some are very far off, like such as these. Other bikes, they're not so bad. But these, we've been noticing they are horrendous when you throw that exhaust on. So guys, get a mail-in flash, get a dyno tune, whatever it is. If the bike feels like crap, this is exactly why. Just the air fuel and just the overall power band is just jacked up. So anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much again. We'll see you on another episode. Be safe. See ya.